So this is our group in Guatemala. 65 people, about, 12 families, all LDS. And we were in Seneu is where we stayed, and then we would travel, which was about 7 hours from Guatemala City, and then we would travel 2 hours further every single day by these cattle cars into the depths of the regions of Guatemala mountains. Scenery was beautiful. Kids getting hit by plants. It's the ground corner, Kira on the right there. But yeah, many hours spent traveling with us and our gear, everything we needed to do service in these trucks. Lots of people outside admiring the strange white people in the cars, and kids enjoyed it. They got to be on top a lot. The parents, I'm going to say it was a trial to put up with the bumpy truck, standing or sitting, surrounded by, these are the plants. We were going to have to put in garden beds and all the boards and stuff to make whatever we were making. So it was tough. And then we always had to carry all of our supplies, usually a short hike once we got there, like a quarter or half mile to where we were going. So this was down a little mountain. It was pretty darn steep. I didn't have to carry anything because I was injured. And it was like a neighborhood. And the houses are about as close together as regular houses in a regular neighborhood in the States. But yeah, everybody's just outside their house. So this is the family we were assigned, closest one because of my injury. They were pretty shy when we first met them, and we busted out some supplies, and they were excited about balloons and things. A little nervous, but they warmed up quite a bit, and it was fun to see them warm up. So this family got to have garden beds and a water filter because they had earned it. They had shown interest in bettering themselves. They had taken a class, and because they had taken the class on nutrition, gardening, and hygiene, they merited to have this gift, and of course, playing. So the kids, my kids, we got to just do what we wanted. The task was to get the garden beds done, but me and the kids actually just had a blast playing with these other kids. And of course, you're always drawing a couple neighbor kids too. So, and it was our family's gift to bring these Legos. We did not give these Legos to these kids, but we let them play with them, and it was fun to see them try to figure it out. They were trying to put the flat sides together and make them stick at first, and so it took them a minute to figure it out, but they did. And some of the Legos got kiped. Oh, and they would always dig through our backpacks too. The social rules there are just different, because if you find a rock, you're allowed to keep it. So they find stuff and pocket it, but you know what? They didn't have any other toys. They love to see pictures of themselves. Kira displaying. They would giggle and think it was so funny to see the pictures of themselves. Polaroids was my favorite. The mother would always go take Spencer's arm and put it around her daughter so they could have a picture with Spencer, because they loved the blonde hair.
Because he has blonde hair. Same with her. You guys are popular around here.
Yeah, he has blonde hair too. So we built the garden beds, filled them with dirt, and yeah, planted some seeds. I don't know if their choices of seeds and plants were my favorite. I'm actually going to be revamping that. I don't know if they're going to love celery and things like that. But it was fun to see the kids participating, and all my kids got totally into everything we were doing. And I think we were at this one house for like 3 hours playing with kids and making this stuff. So then there was the water filters. Oh, that mom there in the chair, she was like 37 years old, even though she looks like she's 60. Steve liked this guy with a stick because he could pound it right in the same hole, and that's how he got it in. We built the garden fence out of plastic to keep the chickens out. Water filters. So they would boil their water until then, and so they demonstrated and taught this lady. So the guy there with the baseball cap is the stake president. He was a translator because he would translate from Spanish to Quechua. So they explained how to use the filter and to clean the filter daily. Other people were interested in how that might work, so it was fun to give them clean water without having to boil. This little guy figured out how to build a house. Good engineering, and the kids love the jump rope, and yep, good strategy. Babies diaperless. So this was their kitchen. You can see that there's just an open fire with tortillas and a bike spoke above, wooden tables, chickens and dogs in the kitchen. The only food that you'll see is right there, if you missed it, is there's corn on the floor. That was the only food we saw. They eat corn, tortillas, 3 meals a day, and they cook it over a fire, which apparently is kept going. This is right outside the kitchen. This is their source of water. It's water diverted with a pipe from a stream. So it's just stream water diverted, and that's their shower and bath and everything else. More truck rides. Second project, next day, we are helping build a clinic. We put the roof on the clinic. Notice how the boy's balancing on the board on the roof. And they're mixing the concrete. We had to relocate the pile of concrete 3 times, measure wheelbarrows to measure the amount of sand to concrete bags, and mix it together. Mix it in there, throw it in the buckets, carry it inside the clinic to make the concrete floors for this clinic. This clinic is going to be used for visiting groups of doctors, dentists, no regular staff that we know of, but just... So they used machetes for everything. Check out pounding with a wood stick to cut the board. They would use it to cut firewood. Everybody was cutting firewood. Another project, another day. This was a water tank. 90 homes on a big mountainside that didn't have water, so they would have to hike to the bottom mountain to here to get their water every single day. And they got tired of it. So this community themselves started creating this cement water tank. But you have to have water to make cement. So we helped carry water up this hill. And oh my goodness, those people, like this little kid, are so much stronger than we were, to carry the water up, to mix cement, to make, tuk-tuk rides. Everybody in our group got to go on a tuk-tuk ride tour all together, just through Sana'u, which is the major city where we were staying, carrying all the supplies daily to the trucks, and then to the sites. So this was the school at the top of the mountains. Such a stunning sight, so surreal. This cool school that was almost completely vacant. Check it out. There's not much of anything there. A couple supplies in the corner. This room, a blackboard, a couple of desks. So we laid out our supplies, and the kids just started assembling the chairs, the big assembly line. Now, you get to choose what you do. I was doing Polaroids because that's what everybody likes. Check out these girls' reactions. It's just fun to see how excited they get. Their reactions were just priceless. I wish I had more reaction footage, but I don't. So, anyways, and then this other lady also brought her Polaroid, and it was just fun. So here's the kids assembling desks. Everybody just worked together and found something to do. Somebody, their own pet project, decided to bring a zip line. Their own pet project, just brought it from home. Somebody else assembled a gaga ball court. This was where they assembled it, where we stayed. And as we worked, we could just stop and play with people. Steve, very easygoing of just find your own work and do it, or play with the kids. So we went to go do a home visit with a part member family, and we happened to run into missionaries. Completely coincidence. They were there to teach the non-members, and we were there to have the members teach us how to make corn tortillas. We were hiring them. Check out this bridge I'm walking across. It's a bridge from their house to their outdoor kitchen, and it was an open sewer underneath 2 years ago. Not anymore, but so gross. Just large open sewer. So these are nice little members, a mother and her daughter-in-law, and they make these corn tortillas 3 times every day. They sell them. It is 99% of their diet is these corn tortillas made out of just corn and water. We weren't very good at it, but they were. So they cook over fire and keep the fire going constantly. Their kitchen is very rustic. They've got a bucket filter just like the other family. They were previous recipients. They made us beans. We were told not to eat them, so we did not. We politely declined them, but we felt bad, but we didn't want to get sick. So we asked them if they could have anything in the whole world, like any dreams for the future, what would they want? What was important to them? And
the biggest thing that she really wants is just to go to the church every single week, because it gives her such peace when she goes there, really, and there's nothing more, is all she says.
Before and after long work days, we would go to the market and walk the streets and be entertained by the happenings there. So fun. Check out this old lady and the turkey. Who's uglier? More playing with kids. It was just up to us to create our own games. Steve found this dental office, and the dentist let him come in and watch. He was disgusted by the lack of sanitation. No hand washing, no sterilization, just a complete saliva bloody mess. And no gloves, nothing. This is where we lived. The school in Senate, which was the biggest school around, is where we ate. Food was decent. The kids didn't complain. This Ferris wheel was right outside of our school, and it was noisy, and oh my gosh, it was like so fast.
Hope you like loud music while you're sleeping.
Oh my gosh, she's asleep. So this is where we stayed. The school in Santa the biggest school in the region. It's the gate where we would enter. We always had an audience of kids looking through the gates and fences, and sometimes even fireworks thrown in. They were very interested in us. You can see the Ferris wheel there in the background. And that gate usually had kids there watching us. This is where we did our hand washing, and we fill our water bottles. We used bottled water for all toothbrushing and such. Community sinks, and these big long tables where we would eat, and people would play board games in the evenings there, and schedule on the wall. Over here was the restrooms, and the toilets struggled to flush. Couldn't throw the toilet paper in the toilets, but at least they were there. At least we had toilets to flush. This was a shower, no heat not whatsoever. You could see the sewage running through the pipe at the bottom of the shower. Over here is the classroom we stayed in. There was 4 different classrooms. Each classroom had 3 or 4 families. So I brought the pop-up tent to change in. Somebody else brought this little beach thing for some privacy. That's it.